Hey folks, we're calling this video today The Stars. It's going to be my last video to do concerning whether last year was a 13-month year or this year is a 13-month year. I've organized a bunch of data here. I could be wrong on some of the data here. If I am, please let me know what I'm uh, messed up on. Of course, I'm doing all my data from the Cooterville area, so what I can see as far as the celestial lights and such. But we have, Tanya and I have in a little over 3 weeks, we have Feast of Trumpets coming up, and I know there's going to be some folks that are a month behind us that, uh, they might not keep the feast at the same time we are, and it's I don't know what reason why. I've never got a good answer scripturally or empirically, but please stay with me here. Look at this data, and I believe this will help a lot of y'all if you're keeping a 12-month or you're considering this a 12-month year and last year is a 13-month year. Then you need to stick in here and stay around and look at the evidence that I'm going to provide. If you're keeping a 13th month, this is just going to help solidify even more of the data that I've done several videos earlier this year showing all the data that I could pull together. So we're going to look at a 4-year pattern with the stars and where the stars are at the new moon days, and that's talking about when the full moon occurs. That's basically when the sun and moon are 180 degrees opposite each other. That's when the timing of the full moon happens, and that's when our months begin. So here we go. All right, so everybody's familiar. Genesis 1:16 talks about the two great lights, the sun and the moon. There's no doubt that the two great lights are the sun and the moon. The greater light that rules the day is the sun. The lesser light that rules the night is the full moon. So each month, one time a month, you have a lesser light to rule the night, and that's the full moon. And then of course you have the stars. So the stars, the sun and the moon are part of our celestial calendar that we use. Exodus 12:2 and 13:4. This is telling us, this was Yahuwah telling Moses when he brought him up out of Egypt. He said, this is the beginning of your months. And then later on, just a chapter later, when you look at everything in context, he says, I bring you out in the month of Abib. So let's look at Abib. So we have here Abib, Strong's Concordance, ear of grain. We got the Brown Drivers Briggs definition, ears here. Also, it says Abib or month right here. Um, Also, it says hence the name of month here under Strong's. Then, if we look at the ancient Hebrew lexicon, we've got ears are growing grain. Also, Abib, the name of a month in the Hebrew calendar. Then, when we look at basically the etymology of a star, there's a star today called Spica that's in the it's the brightest star in the constellation of Virgo. It's called Spica. It's a bright star in the constellation Virgo, ear of grain. So the definition of Spica and Abib are identical. So this is the star that we use for to determine our first month of the year. So that is Abib, called an ear of grain, and today known as Spica. Then, of course, I've covered this before in videos. We got etymologically that the month is aligned with the moon, and then we have, when we look up moon etymology, we can see that it in return it means a month. So check this out for yourself. You can slow this video, stop this video, and read this for yourself. But I've covered this so many times, I don't want to go over it again. Beat What's the old saying, beating a dead horse. So don't want to continue on. If you have the gumption yourself, look it up in etymology.com and or etymologyonline.com and look it up for yourself. Here we're going to look at the zodiac. The zodiac is basically, it's going to give us 12 divisions here. It's going to show us our months. We're going to start ours in Virgo, and it's always going to be opposing Pisces normally, you would think. So 180 degrees of the sun and moon, you would think Pisces and Virgo would always be aligned, but it's, as we go through the study, you're going to see that it's not necessarily true. But the next month would be Libra, Aries, and then Taurus and Scorpius, and then you got Sagittarius and Gemini, and then you got Cancer over here to Capricornus, and then you got Aquarius with Leo. So it just, this whole wheel here is just, there's stars inside of these named characters here. And I don't know who gave the names or the characters to them, but there's a group of stars here. So these stars, if we look at a 12-month year, we're going to have 12 divisions of stars to determine what when we begin our months. Okay, so we got 12 divisions, except we have that event when we have a 13th month. So if we, the data that I gathered, I believe you're going to see that why a 13th month and what happens in a 13th month and how it changes from a 12-month period of time with this data. So let's look at the data I gathered. So we got 4 years of new moons and stars here. So here with the moon, our constellations are heading this way. So they're going left to right in a downward fashion. The sun is here, and it's going, because it's appearing on our horizon, it's rising from our left to our right, kind of in a diagonal shape there. So of course that's how the sun and moon go around us. They go around us in a circuit. So when the moon is setting, right before it sets, the sun appears in the west. So you got the moon's downward heading this way, and with the sun, it's coming up in the east this way and such. So you can see the constellations are traveling right here. So you got the moon in Virgo here. You can see it just left Leo previous to that. Here you got the sun in Pisces, and it just left Aquarius. So Aquarius was the one before it, and the next one should be Aries. Most times it's Aries, but Aries, that group of stars of Aries is a very small group of stars. So as you'll see, there's going to be some times where some months are going to skip some constellations altogether. So we got our first new moon day here of 2022. We got Virgo for the second time with the moon right here. There she is, and it's before you get to Libra here. And then you got Pisces with the sun here, and you can see it's right before you get to Aries here, and then you got Taurus right after Aries here. But you got Aquarius, Pisces, Aries, and then Taurus here. So again, the sun's traveling this way, but the stars are traveling with it. Keep in mind, the stars are 4 minutes a day quicker than the sun is in its circuit. So that's why the sun will lag behind these constellations as it goes month to month. All right, second new moon day, we have the moon in Libra here, and we got the sun in Taurus. So you can see here, Eris got skipped totally. So the sun was here previous to here, and then it went all the way into Taurus. So it kind of jumped over Aries totally during that month. And what I'm doing here, I've got that zodiac sign showing that there's going to be, this should be a straight line with them, but because this particular, where these celestial bodies was, now we got Taurus and Libra here, so that's not quite 180 degrees. Then we got third new moon day. We got Sagittarius at the beginning of Sagittarius. Keep in mind, Sagittarius is traveling this way. Of course, the moon is a lot slower than all the celestial bodies. The sun, it's slower than the sun, and then it's definitely slower than the stars. We got Taurus in the sun still right before you get to Gemini here. So we got Taurus considered second time. So Scorpio got totally skipped. So Scorpio was right here, right before Sagittarius, and Scorpio got skipped. Just like Aries got skipped by the sun, Scorpio got skipped by the moon this time. Fourth new moon day, we got Sagittarius a second time. So as you can see, it's at the end of Sagittarius and right before you get to Capricornus here. Um, so I still considered that in Sagittarius at that time, just because I'm just going based on the the constellation here of Sagittarius versus Capricornus, and it does look closer to Sagittarius. So I'm going to still consider the moon in Sagittarius there. Again, if you have a better way, please, give me show me the way. Gemini here, we got the sun in Gemini right before it gets to Cancer here. We got the fifth new moon day in 2022. We got Capricornus and Cancer. So basically they're in alignment with each other right before it gets to Leo here. So you can see Cancer, it's still basically in Cancer and hasn't started in Leo just yet. So I considered that Cancer. And then we got Capricornus here the same. We got the tail end of Capricornus, but Aquarius is right here. So it hasn't quite touched Aquarius. I don't know if anything over here has anything to do with Aquarius, but that horizon line is straight across here. So I'm going to consider that month to be a Capricornus month and not an Aquarius month. Let's see here. We got Aquarius here. Here's it almost jumped Aquarius totally. We've got at the end of Aquarius here. Then of course we got the sun in Leo, and this is on the sixth new moon day. Then we got the seventh new moon day. You're going to see here there's a sign with Pisces and Virgo on the seventh new moon day. They're going to be straight up every 4 year. These 4 years, Pisces and Virgos on the seventh new moon day are in line with each other. So you got the sun here right real close to that ear of grain here, and that's in the seventh month. And again, I've covered this in previous videos showing Virgo and Pisces in the seventh month and halfway through the seventh month at tabernacles and such. So all these things are together during those periods of time. Eighth new moon day, you got you got the moon in Aries here, and you got the sun beginning in Libra here. So this is a good sign for the eighth new moon day. They got Taurus and Scorpio, so again, another good sign for the ninth new moon day. We got Scorpio here, we got Taurus here, hasn't got quite the Gemini here, so it's still in Taurus. Gemini's here, we got Cancer here, so it's still in Gemini, so this is the month of Gemini. I'm not going to call it the month of Gemini, but just it's the new moon that's in that the constellation of stars of Gemini there. Then Sagittarius, sun is in the midst of Sagittarius there in the 10th new moon day. 11th new moon day, you got Cancer here. It's toward the end of Cancer, fixing to head into Leo here. Right, and Leo's a large constellation, so that moon will be here next month. And then you got Capricornus. It's basically in the center of Capricornus there, and you got Aquarius coming up next. And there you go. You got Aquarius, the sun in Aquarius there, not quite to the Pisces. And then you got Leo here. And here's the Virgo coming up, the woman coming up for the next month. So this is the 12th new moon day. This would be still of the year 2022. I know it says 2023, but that's because it's March 7th. But we'll keep this in 2022 here. And now we got 2023. So first new moon or 13th new moon day. So a lot of people kept 13th new moon day. Okay. Tanya and I kept first new moon day, and I know there's a few others out there that kept the first new moon day. We got the moon here in Virgo. Got the ear of grain right here. So you've got a Beeb right real close to the moon. Libra's, the brightest star to Libra is several degrees away from the Abib here, and the same way with the previous constellation Leo. So the brightest star closest to the moon is Abib right there. Then of course we got the sun in Pisces right here. So we got our second new moon day or first new moon day. Well, we got Libra here, and then we got Aries here. Third new moon day or the second new moon day, we got Scorpius and Taurus here. It's interesting though, the Latin names, a lot of them end with US, like Tiberius, Taurus, Scorpius, and then of course they renamed the Messiah. Um, it started off being a closer Hebrew name to how Joshua is pronunciated Hebraically, but I say Yahushua, and that's been several years of me going over it, and I know there's several Yahusha, Joshua, Yeshua, Yahushua. There's several different ways, but it's definitely not Jesus. But again, the Latins, where Rome, all roads lead to Rome, and that's where Latin came out of at the Catholic Church. So I would imagine that's how they had tried to adulterate the name uh, or the pronunciation of the true name of Yahushua, the Messiah. So anyway, I won't go much further on that. But again, Jesus is not the true name, but I've come to the point, as long as you study your scriptures out and you dig deeper into the scriptures, you'll eventually know, uh, that his pronunciation is not Jesus anymore. Just if you look at history, but again, as far as knowing his character, his authority, and his honor, uh, knowing how to pronunciate his name is not going to have a factor in it. How to spell his name and what those letters mean in the spelling of his name has much more factor into it than the pronunciation of it. But anyway, so we got third new moon day, second new moon day here. We got Taurus and Scorpius. We got Sagittarius and Gemini, respectively. Here we got fourth new moon day and third new moon day. This is all in the year 2023. Fifth new moon day or fourth new moon day, a Capricornus and Cancer. So we got Capricorn here and Cancer here. We got Aquarius and Leo right here, the moon and the sun here. So sixth new moon day or fifth new moon day. I'm going to say sixth new moon day, and that's what we're in right now. That's what we just witnessed. Then we got seventh new moon day or sixth new moon day. We got Pisces right here. It's tale of something else. I don't know the name of it, but anyway, this is Pisces, and then of course we got Virgo here. So again, that seventh new moon, you've always got the sun and moon in the moon in Pisces, and the sun always in Virgo all the time. Eighth new moon day or seventh new moon day, we got the moon in Aries, we got the sun in Virgo, and right real close to the Spica. You're a grain, Habib. Ninth new moon day or eighth new moon day, we got the moon in Taurus, we got the sun right at the beginning of Scorpius. I blew that up. It looks like it's outside of Libra's constellation stars and at the beginning of Scorpius. So that could go either way. But if it did, that would take the 180 degrees off as far as the constellation is concerned. But when I blew it up, I'm going to say that sun is in Scorpio there. And the moon, of course, is in Taurus. And then we got 10th new moon day or 9th new moon day here. We got Gemini. The moon's in Gemini. And we got the sun at the beginning of Sagittarius. So you can see Scorpius got basically skipped if you had that in Libra previous to that. But I believe I put Scorpius there just because I blew it up. So it didn't really skip Scorpius. It was there the month before. The 11th new moon or 10th new moon, we have Cancer or Capricornus. So we got at the beginning Capricornus, and we got at the beginning of Cancer here. Then we got 12th new moon day or the 11th new moon day. We got the moon in Leo, and then we got the sun in Aquarius. Okay. Now we got, this is what I consider our 13th new moon day. Is still going to be of the year when the year began in 2023. It's going to have Virgo, the moon in Virgo, and the sun in Pisces. Okay. Or it's going to be a 12th new moon day. And I think our data is going to prove that it's not a 12th new moon day. I have no doubt now. after this video is done. I have no doubt. First new moon day, so we're basing that Abib is already past the moon. As you can see, Virgo's still here. I know this, I should have decreased this in size, this particular picture here, but you can see it's not even into Libra yet. It's still in Virgo here. So they're not quite 180 degrees from each other. Of course, Pisces is 180 degrees from Virgo, but you can tell here on this first new moon day. And what's going to be interesting is when we get to the end, and you're going to see why this occurred. And you can see right here too, it's real close to Pisces. It just happens, again, I blew it up, and the direction the constellations were traveling, it looked like it was to Aries. Now, a lot of people look at this star here, Hamal, which is the flank of that ram-looking well, it doesn't look like a ram up in the stars, but anyway, these are people's renditions of this, which is probably a lot of error in it. But there's a star called Hamal. I have yet to find Hamal in Scripture as far as a star. Now, that is a Aramaic word. I know the Muslims use it and such, but again, I just haven't found no scriptural backing for this particular star here as far as for a calendar time and such. So anyway, we got Virgo, Aries here, and again, it's at the beginning of Aries and at the end of Virgo. So that's why we have this kind of discrepancy here as far as it being 180 degrees opposite the other constellation, because not all these constellations are the same size. So just remember that Virgo is the largest constellation of them all, and some are small, and Aries just happens to be the smallest one, I believe, from what I've witnessed so far. So first new moon day. Now we're second new moon days. Moon in Scorpius, Sun in Taurus. Third new moon day, moon in Sagittarius, Sun in Gemini. Fourth new moon day, we got moon in Capricornus, and we got Sun at the beginning of Cancer. We got fifth new moon day, we got the moon in Aquarius, and we got the Sun in Leo. We got sixth new moon day, we got the moon in Pisces right here, and we got the Sun at the beginning of Virgo right here. So it just came out of Leo, and it's in Virgo. Seventh new moon day, we got Pisces and Virgo. There's that Pisces and Virgo on that seventh new moon day every year. So anyway, we got the Sun right here with Abib, and this is that's an excellent witness for a seventh moon. That's totally opposite from the first day of the year, where Abib is. The first day of Abib is with the moon month, Abib month. The month of Abib, it's a star, is with the moon. That's why it's called that. It's simple. It's basically simple, guys. Keep it simple. Pisces and Virgo, seventh new moon. We got the eighth new moon. We got the moon in Taurus. There's Pleiades right there, that smallest constellation out there, 7-star constellation called Pleiades today. I believe it's Kessel. I believe it's Kessel in Hebrew. I might be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. And then Libra, we got the Sun in Libra that month. Ninth new moon day, we got Taurus a second time. So Taurus is a large constellation too. As you can see, it's past Taurus, but it hasn't got to the next constellation of Gemini. So that's why I still gave it to Taurus as a second time. And then we got Scorpius here in the Sun. Hasn't quite made it to Sagittarius yet. Now we got 10th new moon. We got at the beginning of Cancer here, and then we got the Sun, the moon in the beginning of Cancer, and then we got the Sun in Sagittarius there. And now we got the moon at the beginning of Leo here. It's past Cancer, and then we got the Sun. You can see it just past Capricornus, and it's beginning in Aquarius. So I gave it to Aquarius. That was. I don't know if these stars over here have anything to do with it. But again, I was just going on shapes and figures today. There's probably a better way to do this, but this is my way today that we're doing this. 12th new moon day. Virgo, we got the moon at the beginning of the constellation called Virgo. It was in Leo previous to that, so it's out of Leo. And keep in mind, we got two large constellations here back to back. We got Leo and Virgo, so that has a lot to do with the progression of the stars with the moon and the sun too. All right, we got the sun at the beginning of Pisces, so you can see here it's at the end of Aquarius and it's beginning in Pisces. Now we got the first new moon day. Now it's in Virgo a second time. As you can see, there's Abib, that ear of grain. That would be called the month of Abib, this moon. Etymology became month. That's why we see month today. It comes from moon, a lunation, a measurement of time. So we would have the month of Abib right here, and this would be the year 2025. And then we got Pisces a second time. So we had Virgo and Pisces a second time. So before, you could see it at the beginning of Pisces the previous month, and now it's down here, but not quite to Aries. And it's possible, because of where it's at here, it could very well skip Aries. Let's see if it does. And it did. So it got into Taurus here. So it skipped. Aries was skipped, and because it's such a small constellation, and came into Taurus. And then we got Libra here at the end of Libra, not quite into Scorpius right here. So that's why we have an off here. We have this. We have Taurus and we have Libra here. So it's not quite. It should be right, or actually it should be right here, Aries and Libra, but because Aries is such a small constellation, I believe that's why we have a skippage occasionally. And if you notice, these skips normally happen on the smaller constellations. We got third new moon day here. We got at the beginning of Sagittarius. Moon is in Sagittarius, and we got at the end of Taurus, the sun is at the end. So it hasn't made it to Gemini yet. And also, Scorpius got skipped. So again, we got another time Scorpio. It went from Libra to Sagittarius here. So Scorpius is kind of a sideways in its circuitry there. So it tends to be small because the moon and the sun travel through it sideways like this, not lengthwise. If it was lengthwise, then Scorpius would be a larger constellation. All right, next we got fourth new moon day. We got Sagittarius a second time. So Sagittarius is a large constellation. As you can see, it's at the hindquarters of what looks like a man horse there with wings. But anyway, I laugh at it because I know I'm not keeping them based on these shapes or figures. I'm just using these shapes and figures as empirical evidence for measurements and such. So I'm not, I'm not saying this. It could have meaning if we go dig deeper into this Sagittarius and what it means and such. It could have a deeper meaning as what the story told in the stars and such. But as far as the drawing and such, no, I'm just using the drawing for a measurement. And then as you say, Capricornus, it hasn't got to Capricornus here. And then we got Sun in Gemini. Fifth new moon day, we got at the end of Capricornus here, and we got at the end of Cancer. So end of Capricornus, end of Cancer, right before you get to Leo there in the sun. Next month, we got at the end of Leo is the sun, and this is the 6th month. And then we got at the beginning of Pisces here, because Aquarius, it's already done with Aquarius, and it came to pair. And it actually skipped Aquarius. So Aquarius looks like a large constellation, but because Capricornus is right there, let's see here. Yeah, we got Aquarius right here. Capricornus is right there beside it, and the Capricornus is basically lengthwise, and Aquarius is the sun and moon are coming through it sideways. So I think that's why it's not it got skipped. it gets skipped sometimes, and it just happened to get skipped this previous 5th month to the 6th month. Of course, the sun and moon went through them. Don't get me wrong, but these are just individual days and times at the appearing of the sun in the east. These are when all these times are here. Here we got the 7th new moon again. We got that same happening here. We got Pisces and Virgo. There's sun in Virgo, and we got the moon in Pisces here. We got the moon in Taurus here. There's Pleiades again, or Kessel. The 8th new moon day, and then we got Libra here at the beginning of Libra. So this was real close. Again, it was at the end of Virgo, Virgo being a large constellation, but it looks, I blew it up and it looked like it had already got with the star there in Libra, so I gave it to Libra there. So we got Taurus and Libra there. Aries was skipped again, so Aries being that small constellation, it totally got skipped by the moon this time. So anyway, it went basically from here to here, from the 7th month, 8th month, and it totally went past Aries. And again, the sun and moon traveled through the Aries. It's just on the new moon day, it looks like it skipped totally. 9th new moon day, you got Taurus a second time. Again, there's the horns of Taurus. Here's Gemini coming up. So it's not into Gemini yet. It's a lot closer to Taurus. So we got Taurus a second time. And then we've got Scorpius here, which Scorpius is heading this way. And it's outside of Libra. So it's definitely in Scorpius there. The sun's in Scorpius. We got 10th new moon day. We got the moon in Gemini. And no doubt there. And they got the sun in Sagittarius. We got the 11th new moon. We got going to give this to Leo. It's skipped Cancer totally. So here's Cancer. So it went from Gemini to Leo in that, from new moon to new moon day. So it, again, the moon went through Cancer as it was coming, ratcheting to the next new moon day, and so did the sun. But it just, from new moon day to new moon day, it basically skipped Cancer. So we got Leo and sun in Capricornus here. And now we got the 12th new moon day. We got a waning eclipse. So we got Leo a second time. So keep in mind that moon the previous month was at the head of the Leo. And then we got Aquarius here on this 12th new moon day. The sun is in it. But look at this. If y'all go to this time, now this is depend on the area you're in, but it was actually here for Cooterville. It's that's going to be the Roman pagan date of March 3rd, 2026. There's going to be what they call that Stellian eclipse, where it's impossible on a globe Earth because this eclipse actually goes sideways like this, and it's actually still eclipsed when the moon and the sun are above our horizons here in Cooterville. So anyway, this is a waning part of the eclipse. So this has already went totally dark before this, and so that's definitely not the shadow of the Earth from the sun shining across it to the moon. That's a lie. It's a lie, and the biggest lie that can be told there. So I don't know exactly what's darkening the moon, but it's part of Yahuwah's timing system. I'm sure that eclipse has some type of meaning, possibly, but eclipses happen on a regular basis. That's why man is able to predict when they're going to happen, is because the celestial clock is just precision in what it does. So we got Leo a second time, and Aquarius, a sun in, and we got a waning. So that's 12th new moon day, and this would have been the last year of 2025. So I measured the new moon days from the beginning month of 2022, or basically the last month of 2021, which was a 12th month, and the beginning of 2022. So this would be the last portion. I think I got one more month here. This will either be the first new moon day of 2026, or it'll be the 13th new moon day here. And my witnesses to all this is it's going to be a first new moon day. because we're in the month of Abib. There's Abib there, Spica. Here's your moon, a month. It's the closest degrees of all the other constellations, stars. So it's not close to, the moon's not close to Libra. It's closer to Abib there. And then we got, of course, it's just the opposite on the zodiac to Pisces there. And now, just to make sure, that was the first new moon day that last month. In 2026, we got the Roman pagan date of May the 2nd, 2026. That's we got second new moon day or first new moon day. I'm saying that's going to be a second new moon day just based on where Libra is. It's in the moon, it's past Virgo, and also, guess what? Sun is in Aries, it's past Pisces. So Pisces and Virgo are telling me when my first month of the years normally are and my seventh month of the years are. So those are great witnesses there for that. Now we're going to look at comparing the data, and we're going to see what comparing the data, what answer it's going to give us when we look at the data. So we got 2022, we had Virgo and Pisces. 2023, Virgo and Pisces, and when it's in the underlined, that means they were in 180-degree alignment with each other. So when they're underlined, all these are that are underlined, they're in 180-degree alignment. And when it's got green here, that means it's going exactly with the zodiac of when the first month is on the zodiac. So you can see here we got Virgo, 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 Virgo on them 4 years, and then we got Aries, and we got a question mark. So if y'all went back and looked at that particular slide, it was at the very end of Pisces and just touching in Aries, and I gave it Aries at that point in time, but you could very well give that to Pisces. So I marked out that this wasn't a 2023 or 2022 wasn't a 13-month year. Okay, this is the beginning. 2023 is the beginning of a 13-month year. Okay, so now we got second new moon day. Reason I marked that out too, because I've got Virgo 4 times here and I got Pisces 3 times. So that's 7 out of 8 alignments were true. So that's why I marked it out and considered that that wasn't a 13th new moon day on that date based on the slides. That was that new moon. Well, some people kept that in. I think the date was the Roman pagan April the 6th. Again, that wasn't a 13th month day. There's just too many factors here on this data here. So these green, again, this is in perfect alignment with the zodiac. The second new moon day, the reason I didn't block this out, again, I want verification of witnesses. So all I've got here, I've got Libra and Aries is supposed to be true, but I've got Taurus on all the other 3 here for the sun, and then I've got 2 other Libras, but then I got a Scorpio. So really, I've only got 4 witnesses. So 4 out of these 8 witnesses times, the sun and moon are 2 witnesses, and then the 4 years is 8 witnesses altogether. So I only got half the witness. So I can't disclaim this here, but I can here. I just can't say here. Because this is first month, I could say this is second month, and that's enough of witness to win this over and mark this out. But I didn't do that. So, but only 4 of the 8 witnesses were in place. So we've got a hung jury, I guess you'd call it. Third new moon day, we got here in 2023, we got the perfect alignment is Scorpius and Taurus. But as you can see here, we got in 2022, it was Sagittarius and Taurus. And then in 2024, it's going to be Sagittarius and Gemini. In 25, it's going to be Sagittarius and Taurus. So we had 3 Tauruses and no Scorpiuses. So only 3 out of 8 witnesses. So definitely, if that was going to weigh either way, that would weigh maybe toward this being a second new moon day. But again, because this was the first new moon day, just by counting along, you would know that this would be the third new moon day. And again, just keep in mind here, sometimes that the constellations don't line up exactly opposite each other. They just don't do it. You can see here they do for 2023 and 2024, but only Scorpius and Taurus are a good witness for the third month. Sagittarius and Gemini are not. But keep in mind, 2023 being a 13th month, it's going to cause 2024 to look differently, just like it did here on the second new moon day. As you can see here, it was Libras, Scorpius, and Taurus are 180 degrees, but you can see they're just lagging a little bit behind there because of the 13th month in 2023. We got fourth new moon day. This is a censure for a fourth new moon day. We got Sagittarius and Gemini, Sagittarius and Gemini, Sagittarius and Gemini. So we got 6 out of 8 witnesses right there. And then we got a perfect in the green here of being 180 degrees opposite each other. So that's why I marked out this was not a third month here. So based on, you know, just getting your answer by, you know, logic here, if this is true first new moon, then you know this was true second new moon, then this would be true third new moon. Even though I didn't mark them out here, this would be true. And then you would see here the witness here. And it only gets better, folks. It only gets better than this. This is only the first 6 months. Wait till the second 6 months. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 out of 8 witnesses is enough for me in a court case. So I'm saying this fourth new moon, this is not third new moon. We got fifth new moon day here. We got Capricornus and Cancer, Capricornus and Cancer, Capricornus and Cancer. Those all align 180 degrees. And then we got Aquarius and Leo here. But we do have 6 out of 8 witnesses. Aquarius and Leo are opposite of each other. But keep in mind, with this being a 13-month year in 2023, it's going to throw that next year off a little bit there, as you can see here, as it did here in 2024. Okay, you can even see how it did it here in these. Okay, just study on this, guys. I mean, it's pretty awesome stuff here. Now we got the 6th new moon. We got Aquarius and Leo, Aquarius and Leo. Okay, Aquarius and Leo is how it's supposed to be on the 6th new moon based on the zodiac. But we got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we got 5 out of 8 witnesses. So we got Pisces and Virgo. Again, 2024 being right after that 13-month year in 2023 is going to throw them, the sun and moon, up in them constellations a little bit. But they'll even back out, guys. They'll even back out. Yeah, you'll see here in a little bit. It's just awesome how Yahuwah, he's just perfect in what he does. But anyway, we got enough witnesses there. What I say, 5 out of 8 that would win any court case. All right, now here's these in gray. These are hands down all the way across, 8 for 8. All the way across the board. Pisces and Virgo, Pisces and Virgo, Pisces and Virgo, Pisces and Virgo. 22, 23, 24, 25. Definitely not a 6 month. Definitely not a 6 month. Okay. And then we got the 8th new moon day. Again, we're the only one in the 8th new moon day from the 4 years was Aries and Libra. Were in alignment with each other, but as far as the alignment for the 8th month didn't even happen. So I can't even, I can't even weigh this out for this to knock this 7th month out, just because it was how it laid in them constellations there. Now there might be a better way to do this where these change a little bit by basing it off, you know, the brightest stars in certain places and such. I don't know. I've never seen that, but you know, I'm the simple type. If I got my first month right, I know how to count to 13, and I know how to stop at 12 if there's not another one to 13. So that's how easy it is for me. But here we got 9th month, so we got 2 months out of these last 6 months. We got perfect alignment, Taurus and Scorpius, Taurus and Scorpius, Taurus and Scorpius, Taurus and Scorpius. So definitely that's not 8th new moon day, all the witnesses from 2022, 2024, and 2025 are telling me that this is a ninth new moon here. So we got to go based off previous year. Otherwise, I might have been doing all these years wrong. I might be wrong on all the years previous to this. If this is not truly the seventh new moon day, then I'm looking at things totally wrong here. But I've got to look at my witnesses here and what it tells me. 10th new moon day, we got Gemini and Sagittarius, and then we got a perfect alignment on what should be the 10th new moon day of Gemini and Sagittarius. And then we got a perfect alignment again, Gemini and Sagittarius. So we got 7. Here's Sagittarius here in 2024. So again, 2024 gets thrown off a little bit by that 13th month happening in 2023. But again, we got 7 out of 8 witnesses of the alignment being correct for the 10th new moon day. 11th new moon day, we got Cancer and Capricornus here, Cancer and Capricornus. And then we got Leo and Aquarius. And this is wrong. This needs to be corrected. I am wrong on this. Leo and Capricornus are not, I told y'all if anything underlined should be in alignment 108. It's not. Leo's with Aquarius. So this would have been Cancer if it was in, but it's not in perfect alignment. It's actually Leo and Capricornus. But as you can see here, we've got 5 out of 8 witnesses here. So again, it's not a 10th month, it's an 11th month. Then we got Leo and Aquarius here in 2022 at the end of the 12th month. Leo and Aquarius here in 2023. Again, perfect alignment there. And then we have here, we get thrown off. And now I go back to 2021. Actually in 2021 at the 12th month there was Virgo and Pisces too. So that, I can't remember. I didn't go back and check 21, but Virgo and Pisces are a sign for the first new moon day, and also they can be a sign for the 12th new moon day, just depending on if there's a 13th month previous to that. But normally your 12th month sign is always going to be Leo and Aquarius, as you can see here in 22, 23, and year 25. So that gives you 6 out of 8 witnesses. Again, that would mark me off here. So we're going to take a look at the 13th month, and I've only shown over them 4 years. I'm only showing 23. 2023 is a 14th or is a 13-month year, and that's the one we're currently in. Tanya and I are currently keeping the first Sabbath of the 6th new moon. So anyway, that's 2023 will end in Virgo and Pisces. And as you can see over here, Virgo and Pisces is the first month, just to replay 2022, and then 2023 Virgo and Pisces, and it ends with Virgo and Pisces in a 13-month. And guess what? It throws Virgo, that arrow, Aries, the reason I put a question mark, it's real close to Pisces, but I gave it to Aries in 2024. But again, that 13th month in 2023 throws off the constellations in 2024 off a little bit, but they get back in alignment come 2025, and they will do it all over again. So my conclusion is this is a 13th month year we're in right now. And look, I just want everybody to know, if you want to continue to keep on keeping the calendar the way you do, I'm fine with that. I just wanted to make sure that I gave y'all the evidence that I could find, and see if I could convey that over to y'all. And if you don't see that evidence as being good enough, I'm fine. This will be the last video I do on it. I just don't want anybody to, I'd love to have more people keeping trumpets and Day of Atonement and Tabernacles coming up with me and Tanya. And I know we have a few that's keeping it with us, but anyway, I'd love to have more to be celebrating that same period of time with Tanya and I. So that's it, folks. This is the last video I'm going to do about 2023 being a 13-month year. I'm going to go on to my other studies. I've got 2 I've been working on. One is huge, one of my long ones again, and but This one here, I just wanted to get it done. I think if you compare the data, you're being logical with this, and you compare the data from previous year and then the next years after that, you've got to conclude that 2023 is a 13-month year and that this is a 6-month. And whether you're, I mean, for Cooterville, it's the 8th day of the 6th month, the first Sabbath of the 6th month. So just because it's here in Cooterville doesn't mean that you've got to be exactly the same day, because man's day is not Yahuwah's day. So anyway, that's my conclusion. Give it a like, thumbs up. If you liked it, give it a thumbs down. If you don't, please, 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 I'm begging, if you give me a thumbs down, email me, put a comment, do it anonymously, whoever you are, whoever y'all are. But anyway, and just give me some evidence of why you give me a thumbs down, for one thing, and then give me evidence that shows that I'm going in the wrong direction here. If you did like this video too, please share it with others. It might help them too. And we'll see y'all on the next one. Let's give a high praise to Yahuwah as always. Hallelujah. Hallelujah indeed.